Last night, the unrivaled league pulled off one of the funniest stunts, leaving fans both amused and bewildered. Let me explain. Caitlin Clark's decision or lack thereof has thrown the league into full-on panic mode. In what appears to be a massive trolling attempt, Unrivaled dropped a fake 2-minute countdown to keep everyone hooked, but it left fans scrolling endlessly, waiting for answers that never came. It was a bold move, to say the least. The league has just announced its roster for the upcoming season, but here's the kicker. Two wildcard spots remain unfilled and speculation is running wild. Many believe these spots are being reserved for none other than Caitlin Clark and perhaps A'ja Wilson. But here's the twist: Clark seems entirely unbothered. She's been spotted enjoying her time with her current commitments, leaving fans demanding clarity. Is this a calculated move to build suspense, or is Unrivaled facing a serious misstep? Unrivaled sent out a letter that read, "What might seem like an average Wednesday in November is, in fact, a momentous occasion for those who follow women's professional basketball." It asked for fans to tune in between 11 a.m. and 11:22 a.m. EST to watch the Unrivaled Basketball Club selection. Presented by State, the league set out with an ambitious goal to redefine women's basketball. Their unique 3-on-3 format, promise of nationally televised games, and rosters filled with WNBA stars were designed to ignite excitement around the sport. And Caitlin Clark? She was supposed to be the league's crown jewel, the player who would attract fans, sponsors, and media in record numbers. Her participation could have changed the trajectory of the league. But as of now, she's not on the roster. Instead, those two wildcard slots remain conspicuously empty. Rumors suggest Clark has been approached with an incredible offer to $1 million for just 10 weeks of play. To put that in perspective, most WNBA players don't even earn half that amount in an entire season. Beyond the financial offer, reports hint at promises of equity in the league and other perks. Despite this, Clark hasn't publicly shown interest, nor has she outright declined. This uncertainty is driving fans and the league to the brink of frustration. Unrivaled has leaned heavily into its marketing efforts, releasing a 22-minute promotional video and nod to Clark's jersey number with cryptic hints that seemed to suggest she was already on board. Yet, when the roster was finally unveiled, her name was glaringly absent. This fueled further speculation and left fans scouring for clues. Adding to the chaos, the league's mysterious wildcard slots have sparked heated debates. The uncertainty is becoming a PR phenomenon, but at what cost? While some fans believe this is a clever tactic to keep the league in the spotlight, others worrying it could backfire if Clark officially declines. Clark's involvement or lack thereof raises bigger questions. If she accepts, it could solidify Unrivaled's place as a game-changer in women's basketball. But if she walks away, the league could face serious repercussions. With fans and sponsors watching closely, this decision is pivotal. For now, all we can do is wait. Will Caitlin Clark finally commit to Unrivaled, or is this the league's biggest blunder yet? Either way, the drama is keeping everyone glued to the unfolding story. The Unrivaled League's decision to leave two wildcard roster spots open has sparked a heated debate among fans. Some see it as a brilliant marketing strategy to create suspense, while others call it a desperate ploy to buy time. The time frame of 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. and the promotional video length of 22 minutes didn't go unnoticed either. Fans quickly connected these details to Caitlin Clark's jersey number, fueling speculation about her involvement. Social media has been buzzing with fans voicing their frustrations. One fan tweeted, "If Caitlin Clark isn't joining, just say it already. Enough with the mind games." Another added, "This wildcard thing is starting to feel like clickbait. Don't play with our expectations." The league's strategy, whether clever or clumsy, is undeniably polarizing. Let's face it, the success of Unrivaled's debut season largely hinges on these wildcard slots. Although the roster already includes impressive players like Lexi Hole and Angel Reese, it lacks the kind of star power needed to capture mainstream attention. Caitlin Clark is that star, a once-in-a-generation talent who transcends the sport. Without her, Unrivaled risks losing the momentum it has worked so hard to build. While the league scrambles to secure her, Caitlin Clark remains unfazed. She's been spotted attending high-profile golf events and enjoying her off-season, showing no signs of urgency. Her relaxed approach contrasts sharply with the league's frantic attempts to lure her in. It almost feels like she's testing their limits, waiting to see just how far they're willing to go. With the league's season set to kick off in January, time is running out. Clark's packed schedule complicates matters even further. Between her lucrative endorsement deals, WNBA commitments, and public appearances, she may simply lack the bandwidth to join a new league. Plus, the timing overlaps with key basketball events like the NBA All-Star Weekend, where Clark is rumored to have a prominent role. All of this suggests that her participation in Unrivaled may not be feasible, at least for now. Then there's the inherent risk. While Unrivaled's bold 3-on-3 format has proven popular in settings like streetball and the Olympics, it remains untested at the professional level. For Clark, joining a fledgling league could be seen as a gamble. She's already established herself as a superstar in traditional basketball. Does she risk her reputation on an experimental league, or does she stay the course with the WNBA and her other commitments? The $2 million offer for just 10 weeks of play is groundbreaking, especially in women's sports where pay disparity is a persistent issue. For context, the average WNBA salary is around $120,000 per year, making this offer nearly 17 times that amount. While undeniably tempting, even this record-breaking figure might not be enough to sway Clark. After all, her current endorsements, coupled with her basketball career, already position her as one of the highest-earning female athletes. Ultimately, Caitlin Clark's decision isn't just about money. It's about legacy, timing, and risk management. For Unrivaled, securing her would mean an explosive debut season that could redefine women's basketball. For Clark, it's a question of balancing opportunity and responsibility. Will she take the leap into uncharted territory, or will she continue blazing her trail in traditional basketball? As fans await her decision, one thing is clear. Whether she joins or not, Caitlin Clark has already proven her star power by keeping an entire league and its fans on edge. The clock is ticking, and all eyes are on her. Why hasn't Caitlin Clark joined the Unrivaled League? For someone of her stature, money isn't everything. Reports suggest the league's offer included equity, a tempting prospect, but also a risky one. If the league fails to gain traction, the equity could be worthless. And for someone like Clark, who already commands lucrative endorsement deals with major brands, the potential reward may not outweigh the risk. Unrivaled's approach to securing Clark has been polarizing. By leaving to wildcard spots open and teasing fans with cryptic clues, they initially built excitement. But what started as a clever marketing mystery has turned into a source of frustration for many. Fans are losing patience, and analysts aren't pulling punches. One commented, if they don't land Clark, this whole thing will look like a giant failure. And they're not wrong, the league's credibility is hanging by a thread. Months of hype have created immense pressure to deliver, and without Clark, the narrative could quickly shift from excitement to embarrassment. Rumors suggest Unrivaled is even considering restructuring its schedule to accommodate Clark's commitments, a move that underscores how desperate they are to secure her. But the clock is ticking, and fans' patience is wearing thin. This entire situation highlights just how much influence Clark wields not just as a player, but as a cultural icon and a brand. Her decision to join or not will have ripple effects throughout women's basketball. If she says yes, the league could soar to new heights, attracting fans, sponsors, and unprecedented media attention. If she says no, however, the fallout could be disastrous. Unrivaled's debut season might struggle to shake off the perception of being a missed opportunity, one that hinged heavily on hope rather than certainty. For months, Unrivaled has teased fans with the possibility of Clark's involvement, from cryptic videos to those enigmatic wildcard slots. Their entire marketing strategy seems to rest on the hope that she join. But hope, as they say, can be a dangerous thing. Without Clark, the league will face an uphill battle to prove its viability. And it's not just about survival. Unrivaled set out to redefine women's basketball, promising a product so compelling that fans wouldn't look away. Without Clark, they'll need to work twice as hard to deliver on that promise. If Clark decides to stay out, Unrivaled must pivot and double down on the talent they already have. While Clark is undoubtedly a superstar, their roster isn't devoid of potential. Players like Lexi Hull, Angel Reese, and others bring an impressive mix of skill and star quality. By focusing on their existing talent, the league can still create a compelling product. This situation is more than just a recruitment challenge, it's a testament to the changing landscape of women's sports. Clark represents a new era where athletes are more than players. They're brands, cultural icons, and trailblazers. Her decision will undoubtedly shape not only Unrivaled's future, but also the trajectory of women's basketball as a whole. If Unrivaled can't land Clark, they'll need to pivot hard, proving to fans and sponsors that their vision can succeed without her. By elevating their existing stars and delivering an exciting product, they have a chance to win back trust and attention. But one thing is clear, Caitlin Clark's decision is a defining moment, not just for the league, but for the sport at large. The question remains, will Caitlin Clark take the leap, or will Unrivaled's dream season unfold without her? Fans, players, and the league itself are all holding their breath. Unrivaled has a roster filled with charisma and potential, but here's the reality. While talented, these players aren't household names like Caitlin Clark. That's why the league faces a pivotal challenge. It needs to create a connection with fans through storytelling. Riveting narratives like rivalries, underdog comebacks, and redemption arcs keep fans invested over the long term. Think about the NBA or WNBA, talent is undoubtedly a huge draw, but it's the stories LeBron's legacy chase, the Mercury's underdog playoff runs that truly capture the audience. If Unrivaled can replicate that magic, it might still achieve the mainstream attention it desperately seeks. While the league scrambles, Caitlin Clark is doing what she does best, being a star. Whether she's dominating the court or appearing at high-profile events, she remains a cultural icon. Her absence from Unrivaled only amplifies her influence. Fans want her, and the league knows it. But this raises an important question. Does the league's success hinge too much on one player? If Clark decides to stay out of Unrivaled, they'll need to prove they can thrive without her. By spotlighting the stars already on their roster and leveraging the unique format, they can still create a product worth watching. For Caitlin Clark, staying undecided about joining the Unrivaled League hasn't hurt her reputation. If anything, it's enhanced it. By not rushing into a decision, she's demonstrating an understanding of her value. Clark isn't just a great player, she's a game changer. Her message is clear, she won't settle for anything less than the best opportunities. Clark's deliberate approach has sparked a broader conversation about player power in women's sports. For too long, female athletes have had to accept less pay, less recognition, fewer opportunities. But stars like Clark are rewriting that narrative. By choosing her commitments carefully, she's setting a new standard for what it means to be a professional athlete in women's basketball. She's showing that women in sports can demand more and deserve it. This situation isn't just about Caitlin Clark or even the Unrivaled League. It's a reflection of the future of women's sports as a whole. The very existence of a league like Unrivaled signals progress. It shows that women's basketball has a growing market worth investing in. However, building something new is never easy. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and this situation highlights the unique challenges of launching a league that hopes to redefine the sport. The next few weeks will be critical for Unrivaled. With the season set to begin in January, they're running out of time to finalize their roster and establish their identity. Whether or not Clark joins, the league must deliver a product that lives up to the hype. That's the most important thing they can do right now. Here's the truth. The success of the Unrivaled League shouldn't depend on one player. Yes, Caitlin Clark is an extraordinary talent, and her involvement would undoubtedly elevate the league. But for Unrivaled to truly succeed, it needs to be bigger than any one person. It must stand on its own as a platform that showcases the best of women's basketball. Unrivaled has the opportunity to create something groundbreaking, a fast-paced, dynamic league that attracts fans and grows the sport. To do that, they need to shift the narrative away from one player and focus on what makes them unique. The talent they already have, the innovative 3-on-3 format, and their commitment to pushing women's basketball forward. For the league, this moment is about more than just Caitlin Clark. It's about building a legacy that proves women's basketball is not just worth watching but worth investing in. Whether Clark joins or not, Unrivaled must show that it can thrive, grow, and deliver on its promise of redefining the game. And for Caitlin Clark? By taking her time and choosing wisely, she's not just protecting her brand, she's setting an example for athletes everywhere. Her decisions remind us that progress in women's sports is happening, one thoughtful choice at a time. As for Caitlin Clark, her future remains undeniably bright. Whether she eventually joins Unrivaled or not, she's already solidified her place as one of the greatest players in women's basketball. While some fans might feel disappointed that she's not currently part of the league, they can take comfort in knowing she's making thoughtful decisions for her career and legacy. So where does that leave us? The Unrivaled League has much to prove in the coming weeks. With their season debut fast approaching, all eyes will be on them as they finalize their roster and showcase what they've promised to be a groundbreaking new take on basketball. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to dominate headlines without even stepping on the court. This dynamic highlights both the potential and the immense challenges of launching a new league in today's competitive sports landscape. Unrivaled's journey represents more than just one league's debut, it reflects the broader progress of women's sports. This moment is about celebrating the strides being made, the conversations being started, and the new opportunities being created. Whether Clark joins or not, the fact that this level of excitement exists is a testament to how far women's basketball has come and how much farther it can still go. No matter how this particular drama unfolds, there's something worth celebrating. Women's basketball is finally receiving the attention, investment, and passion it deserves. The future is bright for the sport, for Unrivaled, and for Caitlin Clark. Now it's up to the league to prove they're ready to rise to the occasion.